This is my normal daily routine for work days. This morning, I made myself a quick breakfast. I poured a glass of orange juice and toasted 2 slices of bread for my breakfast. I always have breakfast. I can't understand people who don't have breakfast because it's the best start to the day that you can have. I sometimes look at my phone during breakfast, just scroll through any messages, but I'm trying to do this less. I think it's best to stay relaxed while you're eating. I normally have the orange juice with breakfast, and then I have a few cups of coffee while I'm working during the day. So after breakfast, I brush my teeth, put on my blue shirt and my comfortable trousers, etc. And I picked up my laptop bag, made sure I had everything in my handbag that I needed, and then set off to walk to the train station. I left the house at about 7:45 a.m. It was a nice sunny day. I didn't need a coat or jacket this morning, but I had a light cardigan on top of my blue shirt. I walked quickly to the train station. I like to be early for my train. I really prefer to be early rather than rushing or even being late and missing my train. I saw a neighbour and she was running to catch the bus and it looked awful. So I never want to be in that situation where people look at you and think, she's late again. So I'm an early person. I caught the train and I found a seat on my own, which was quite nice. Sometimes you have to bunch up with other people and it can be a bit awkward or uncomfortable. I arrived at work. It's just a short walk from the train station and I saw a few people I knew. Not friends, but I knew them enough to say hello to them or wave to them. I arrived at the office building at about 8:15, about 8:15. The first thing that I always do is open my computer or laptop and look at my planner. I always check the meeting schedule for the day. Then I go to the staff kitchen to fill up my water bottle, as normally I've drunk some water from it on the way to work. When I went into the office, the cleaning staff were just finishing cleaning around the desks. They were vacuuming the floor and some were cleaning the chairs and desks. So I waited a little while so they didn't feel awkward for me rushing to sit at my chair. I'd actually checked my laptop while I was in the kitchen area, so this didn't disturb the cleaning staff at all. It feels a bit uncomfortable to walk in and sit down while they're doing their job, even though they are friendly, but it's just a bit awkward. So I noticed that a few of my colleagues were already sitting at their desks. Sarah was talking on the phone to a client. Ben was pouring a cup of tea. The receptionist out in the foyer was smiling and greeting people as they came in. It felt a very friendly situation, but it was early morning and none of the stress had built up for the day. Once the cleaning staff had left, I went and sat at my desk and continued to look at my planner and make notes to see what work was ahead for the day. My main task in the morning was to finish a report on quarterly sales. I had finished it, but I hadn't sent it yet. I needed to have one more look over it just to see the grammar was correct, and then I had to send it to my line manager and she would look at it and then approve it to be sent. I don't like to be in a situation where the line manager chases you up because you haven't done the work yet. So again, it's like being early for the train. I like to finish work earlier than the deadline date. So at 10 o'clock, we had our weekly team meeting. There are 10 of us in the meeting, and normally the manager or line manager will be talking, and everyone sort of nods along. No one raises any other issues normally. And we all just want to go in, listen, and get out again and get on with our work, really. There was a discussion on the final colours for the adverts, the future adverts for spring. But there's a marketing team that deals with that, and I don't really think that my opinion would sway them one way or another. If I said that I thought blue was a wonderful colour for spring adverts, it doesn't mean they would agree, so I didn't say anything because it won't make any difference, I don't think. So at about 11 o'clock, we all finished. At about 11 o'clock, the meeting finished and we all went for coffee. We don't all go to a coffee shop. We generally take turns to make coffee in the staff kitchen. So, and then we take it back to our desks. So it's not like we all go for coffee. And then I drank my coffee and then I sneakily went back and made a second one because I felt like I needed it. On the run up to lunchtime, I just went over a few odd bits of work that I needed to finish off. And then went for lunch. Today, I bought my own homemade salad and chicken and tomatoes. I always bring my own food for lunch. I think it's a lot healthier and it can cost a lot of money if you start going out to cafes and restaurants. I sat with two friends in the break room. We talked about what we'd done at the weekend and just chit-chat. John was eating a large sandwich and Maria had ordered in a pizza. I drank a can of sparkling water, which I'd brought from home, and I think it took about 30 minutes to eat my lunch, and then I went for a short walk so that I'd had some fresh air before the afternoon. I was well refreshed after my walk, so the afternoon started with a feeling of focus. I returned to my desk and began to analyse the data from a customer survey. I made notes and then I checked my inbox again to see if anything else, any more emails or messages had come through. There was an email that I had to reply to. It was a very long one, which I had to read a few times to really get to grips with what it meant. But I was able to send a brief reply, which I hope is satisfactory for them. I'll probably go back to the customer survey tomorrow morning. It needs a bit of thought and I need to have a look at all the figures, and I think that's better as a morning job. The final hours of the day, everybody was busy, the phone lines ringing, people typing on their laptops or computers. There's a lot of laughter going on, and it was generally quite relaxed but very busy. It had a buzz in the office. It was quite good. Outside the window, I looked outside and it was starting to rain, and I hadn't bought a jacket. I'd only got my light cardigan, so I was really hoping that it stopped by the time I left work. Having said that I was going to look at the customer survey tomorrow morning, I then realised I didn't really have much to do and I needed to look busy. So I opened the file again and got out my notepad and made some physical notes so that maybe I could look at them on the way home on the train. And I was certainly looking busy, but I wasn't very busy in reality. my colleague asked if I could help her with a presentation that she had to present for tomorrow morning. And that would be in front of 10 people. So we went to the kitchen area and she presented it to me. I made a few suggestions of what to change, and she amended the speech, and I think in the end it's going to go pretty well. Obviously she's quite nervous about doing the presentation. Everybody would be, but her work was good. She just had to stay calm and focused. So at the end of the day, at 5 o'clock, I started to tidy my desk and make sure that I'd finished everything. I charged my laptop while I was tidying up so that I could have a look at it on the way home, or even it would just save my electricity bill for when I'm looking at it at home, really. I tidied my desk, put everything away, made sure everything was clean, the desk was clean, and I left the office at about 5:30. The train station's always more crowded on the way home for some reason. Oh, and I forgot to say it had stopped raining, so I was extremely lucky with that. The train station was busy, and that is normal. I rushed to the train with a few minutes to spare, got the train, but I had to stand until I reached the next station where a lot of people got off, and I was able to find a seat. So really, it was a good day. I didn't achieve a lot, but enough to keep me happy and to keep the bosses happy. Some days are busier than others, and I think you have to have a relaxed day when you can. I'll probably go and watch TV now and have something to eat. I think I'll probably have pasta and tuna with some cheese and watch TV, and then go to bed at about 10:30, and then tomorrow's another day.